Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. My name is llBonkll, and today we begin a new little series. And yes, the worst Warframe tournament will continue, just doing a small break in between before we continue with that. This new series will be 15 facts about a single Warframe. Figured a good one to start with would be Excalibur. Eventually, all of the frames will get their own video. If you don't know, I already made a 50 facts for all of the, at the time, 50 Warframes that were in the game, but just one isn't quite enough to really show some of the more interesting aspects of these frames, so I think a more focused in video where we just talk about the one will be fun. The kinds of facts will be whatever I felt like using as I scoured the internet for things I found interesting, mostly the Warframe wiki, but I'm sure you'll pick up on the main idea as we continue, if you didn't really get the gist there. So let's just jump into this thing. First up, before update 14 back in 2014, Excalibur would use his equipped weapon when casting his abilities. This was extremely funny because half the time it made zero sense with what weapon he was using, such as slash dashing with a fist weapon or your radial javelin shooting out huge swords. If he didn't have a melee weapon equipped, he would create little ghost versions of his weapon, like homie would shoot out Barattans with radial javelin. It was definitely an interesting time for Excalibur. After update 14, these ghost boys were no longer capable of being any different weapon than Skana. Next, a quick one. Excalibur was the very first Warframe that included a non-polarized aura mod slot, the second being Necros. That is all. Excalibur as a Warframe has the highest number of variants of any Warframe. Of course, there's the normal Excalibur, then Excalibur Prime, Umbra Excalibur from the quest, and finally a China exclusive frame known as Umbra Prime. Yeah, that exists. To be honest, didn't even know that before this video. I will also add that Excalibur Prime is one of the rarest Warframes in the game, probably is the rarest, and Umbra Prime is actually just a replacement on the Chinese version of the game for Excalibur Prime, who is only in the global build. If you're wondering why you and your friends have never seen an Excalibur Prime, it's because only the OGs of OGs have him, as he was a founder exclusive. I want him to stay that rare. I hope he never comes back, and I'm not a veteran, I don't have him. I purely want that because I'm not a fan of something rare being brought back, especially when most of the time, the only motivation for that is the money it will bring in from the sort of, wow, look at that rare thing, I better buy it while it's here, when in reality, if it's reintroduced, that rarity is decimated. In Rocket League, Excalibur's helmet can be equipped as an antenna topper. Loki and Chroma also have their helmets available to players as toppers. Personally, not a Rocket League player, tried it at one point, just not my kind of game, but it's still pretty cool for the people who play both games. Excalibur's original design is based from DE's previous game known as Dark Sector. Hayden Tenno, the main character of that game, uses it as his suit of armor. You can also use Hayden's version of this suit in Warframe, as it is the Excalibur skin known as the Proto Armor skin. If anything has Proto in front of it as a skin, you can assume that it is a reference to something in Dark Sector. If you want to learn more about Dark Sector and its connections to the Warframe we all play today, I have a video talking about that very thing that I'll throw up in a card up there. Within the Prophet trailer for the PS4, Excalibur can be seen wearing the Immortal skin and Pendragon helmet while being ripped apart by Alad V. Another quick one, but there's not really much else to say about that. Excalibur's name, yep, we all knew it was coming, is based off of Arthurian myth. It is the name of King Arthur's sword. Of course, the sword guy has to have a reference to one of, if not the most popular and well-known swords in existence. I'll add that a lot of his helmets also reference Arthurian myth, making the connection both stronger and more obvious. Did you know Excalibur can be bought from Teshin? Well, I bet you didn't, since literally not a single soul that plays this game cares about the dog water PvP. But it's a thing. Once you reach the rank of Typhoon in the Conclave, he can be acquired from Teshin for 60,000. But, don't do that because it's not worth both your time or mental health to play Conclave, just being honest. Excalibur's Prime variant has the least noticeable difference in the normal to Prime aesthetics, with the only additions being the gold blades added to the forearms of the frame and the void key that was plastered right on his face. There are actually some statues of Excalibur Prime littered throughout certain tile sets. It can be seen within the Orcan vaults on Deimos, and you can find them in the Spy vaults on Lua. Another quick one, but you know, not all of them need like a little addition of details. Instead of the Skana being used for the new Ghost Sword of weapon on Excalibur's abilities after update 14, Excalibur Prime uses the Skana Prime. A slight change, but one I can appreciate as it shows attention to detail. You love to see it. The very last day Excalibur Prime was available, the day the Founders program ended, was the 1st of November 2013. If you begin your journey as a Tenno after that, like most of us did, Excalibur Prime may never be within your reach. Again, I hope DE keeps it that way, please. Another name one, this time looking at the Umbra variant. The word Umbra is Latin and stands for shadow. I gotta say, great choice. The Umbra variant needed a darker sort of name looking at the lore of that frame. It fits perfectly. Excalibur Umbra is the very first known Warframe that is confirmed to be human. He is also the very first Warframe that exposes their face. This can be seen through his battle damaged helmet, the Umbra Sunder helmet. The second Warframe to expose their face is Zaku during the casting of Vast Untime. Ballas explains that the original Warframes were infested human hybrids that were created through the Helminth. Last one for Excalibur. Make sure you guys comment who you want the next 15 facts about blank frame video to be. Any frame can be it. I don't have a specific order I want to do these in, just seemed like the poster boy of Warframe would be a good place to start. Anyway, the very last fact is that Umbra Excalibur comes with a set of 3 good old new mods that will most likely become a mainstay in your builds to some capacity. These mods are the Umbral set, Umbral Fiber, Umbral Vitality, and Umbral Intensify, granting the great set bonus of Sentient Resistance. Not really that great of a bonus for most things, but you know, Archon Hunts are a thing now, so I guess that bonus is a little more useful nowadays. And that is that. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been llBonkll, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, heading on down and dropping a like would be super helpful in getting this video out to others. And while you're down there, just kind of nudge that finger over to that button that says sub. Maybe even click it. Who knows? I think it's a good idea. We're getting closer and closer to the big 5000 every day, and I cannot thank you guys enough for watching these videos. It's a really good feeling when you see people actually enjoying something that you have created. I hope to continue to create that content that is worth the time you spent watching. I'd also like to mention that my Discord server, AVIATOR Legion, is linked down below. If you're looking or wanting to share a build, head there. If you want a chance at winning some giveaways, that's there too. Just need some advice about something, or you want to price a ribbon and you don't know what to do? Well, that's there too. I've also set up a little monthly quest system that can earn you some new roles in the server through doing activities in Warframe. Anyway, I hope to see you there. Finally, I'll add that I currently am hosting a Worst Warframe Tournament bracket over on the community tab and through videos, which will be resuming now after this one. If you're interested in getting your opinion in that tournament, make sure you head over and leave your votes. Currently, we are at round 3, and many frames have been called better and aren't options anymore, but there are still plenty of votes that needed to be cast before we find the true worst Warframe. Play Zaku 24/7 or they will double the price of everything in the marketplace, and good night.